green means when they're holding that up.
So in the smaller box here on your screen, we have the aerial of the situation uncovering, and then on the ground here, that's the ground POV. Phil, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Just establishing the two shots here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because it's tough. It's good that you have the overhead projected perspective from Skyfox because what we're seeing is just hundreds of people that are now sitting down, blocking traffic in the intersection, Cahuenga Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard, and it's a standoff. I mean, they're chanting, but it's not like they're not throwing things, they're not taunting the police. You see one woman here. Legalize being black is what her sign reads. And, what's happened over the past few days, Alex and Marla, is that this has escalated into windows being broken, into looting, into mayhem on the streets. That has not happened here. Some of these businesses are open, most of them are closed, and have plywood or the metal garage doors pulled down over the storefronts. And it's been like that all morning. This originally began at noon with a protest organized by a young lady who's a junior at Immaculate Heart High School here in Hollywood, and it grew into just thousands who've marched through the streets here.
Well, and it shows you also how quickly things can change, because we were just looking at pictures from downtown LA within the last 10 minutes of people dancing to the Cupid Shuffle and literally having almost like a party-like scene on the scenes of downtown because there was so much joy that after so many days of tension, there was a feeling of relief that maybe we had moved past some of these tense scenes, and there was a celebration of everybody's joint humanity. But one or two people that start something can completely change the dynamic of a crowd, and you hope that was just a momentary blip here in Hollywood and things get back to normal pretty quickly. It seems like they're starting to, hopefully.
Well, the thing that makes these situations challenging is that there's no one really, in charge, so to speak, that say a police commander on the scene can speak with and work out a plan, facilitate the protest, as Chief Moore likes to say. So the police are on one side of the intersection, the protesters are on the other, and as far as I can tell, there's never like a dialogue to try to diffuse the volatile situation.
Yeah, I mean, our aerial shots really showing sort of the officers have sort of a right angle position. They have two sides of that intersection. They've got that guarded down.
Now, if you look over here,
go ahead.
I mean, the police are trained. They're under the control of a commanding officer. They're being given specific instructions where to stand, what to do. They have different areas of responsibility. You can see one officer with a bullhorn there. I mean, it's possible they might, you've heard this term over and over again, declare this a, quote, unlawful assembly. That gives them the legal authority to move in and arrest people that don't disperse. But also, the officers in Hollywood, this is a busy area. This is not their first time dealing with crowds. So they're content at this point to keep an eye on things.
Let me just add this. This is just coming across in the wires here. It says that police are firing flashbang rounds to disperse protesters right at your intersection, Hollywood Boulevard and Ivar, where 3 arrests have been reported.
Okay, well, that would go along with what we've been hearing and seeing, because I mentioned we did see some explosives go off, but it's tough to tell whether that's a grenade, a flashbang grenade, or fireworks from some of the protesters. But it's certainly possible if they saw somebody throwing a projectile, a bottle at them, they would definitely arrest that person. But there's thousands of people here, so 3 arrests would be obviously a very, very low number.
And I just want to pass along some news also as we look at these folks. We look at Phil in his face shield and these protesters in their masks. Some new news from LA County, the totals for COVID-19 today, which you usually would give as a press conference. Today came as a press release. 60 deaths in Los Angeles County. 60 deaths announced in the last 24 hours because of coronavirus, and 1,202 new cases. So a reminder that as we have all these people in the streets, thousands and thousands of people in the streets, most of whom are not socially distancing, many of whom are wearing masks, not all. We are in the midst of a global pandemic, and that pandemic has not taken time off because of what's happening with George Floyd. It's not under curfew orders right now.
And so that would bring the total numbers to close to 56,000 cases and more than 2,400 deaths. With that said, to your point, Alex, also worth noting that all of the testing centers will remain closed tomorrow, June 3rd, except for the site at Dodger Stadium. So,
which can do 6,000 tests a day. So
right, but that is the sole drive-through COVID-19 testing sites will be closed tomorrow, except for the sites at Dodger Stadium, June the 3rd, and you can make an appointment there as well. Phil, while you sort of assess the situation, we're
pretty good, man.
We're live on Fox 11. Have you been out here all morning?
I haven't. I've been out here for the past 30-40 minutes. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it got tense here a few minutes ago. What did you see happen?
Honestly, I didn't see any type of tense. I literally was following everybody else. I didn't see any type of tense or anything like that, so I don't know what's going on.
Kind of a standoff right now.